Hello everyone, I hope you're having a fantastic Tuesday. Thanks for joining me. Now today for my Try It Out Tuesday, I picked up this new to me die. It's a border die from Technique Tuesday and it's called Bubbles on the Border. I thought it'd be really fun to create a card just using a die. So we're not going to use a stamp set today, but I wanted to do something a little bit different and less typical of what I usually do. And so this was a really fun die and I really like how it die cuts out your paper. So I'm going to grab my card base. This here is actually a pre-cut and pre-scored card base. I picked it up in a pack of 25 from scrapbook.com, but it's an 80 pound, so it's a little bit on the thinner side than what I'm used to, but I thought it would die cut beautifully. So I'm going to take my die and we're going to do a partial die cutting on my card base. We're going to make a side folding card, or actually a top folding card, but we're going to do it, landscape style. So I'm going to just secure that to the little bit below the half line on my card base, and I'm going to run that through my die cut machine. And you can see here it creates a little bubble border, and then it also punches out those circles. So I thought this would be really fun to create a birthday card. I'm just going to use my craft pick and punch out all those little circles. And they're big ones, small ones, and itty bitty ones. But I think that's going to create a really fun effect for my card base. Okay, now we're going to stamp our sentiment. Now here, this is the only stamp I'm going to be using today, but it's from a stamp set from My Favorite Things. It's the Celebrate with Cake stamp set. And I really like the sentiment that says, make a wish, eat cake, and celebrate big. So I'm going to ink it up with some VersaFine ink and stamp that towards the left of my card base. And then just to give this a little bit of glossiness, I'm going to go over it with some Nuvo crystal clear embossing powder. And then we're going to go ahead and melt that embossing powder. It's going to make my sentiment stand out and it's going to make it shiny, and I like that. Okay, once we have this melted, we need to fill in our background that we cut apart, and so to do that we're going to use some vellum. Now the vellum I like to use is from Hero Arts. It's a 48 pound vellum. It's pretty sturdy stuff. You could probably even make a card base with this. But to secure it to my card base, I'm going to use some double-sided score tape. It's super strong, so I know that vellum's not going to go anywhere. I'll place my vellum, which is a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch piece, on the inside of my card base, and then I'll just fold the top over and secure it down. That way I have almost like a see-through bottom. Any excess I'm just going to trim off with my scissors, and I think that's going to look real fun. Now I did notice the score tape shows on the inside, but we're going to fix that later. Now next I grabbed some cardstock from my stash. The red one here is Wild Cherry. All of these are from MFT. The pink one is Pink Lemonade. Yellow is Banana Split. And then the green is Sour Apple. But I'm going to use my die and cut out my circles. Now I'm not going to use the border part of the die. I'm going to use actually the negative pieces. All those little itty bitty circles. But I punched them out, and along with that I did take a piece of white cardstock and I flipped it over to the reverse side, and then I'm going to place that on the inside where it covers my score tape. That way it just looks more clean. Okay, now's the fun part. We get to add some bubbles to our card. Now basically that's all we're going to do today. I'm going to take some dimensional adhesive and I'm going to pop a few of my bubbles up to give my card a little bit of dimension. I only used one of the larger circles, and then the rest I used the medium and the small ones. But I'm just arranging them in no rhyme or reason. I'm just going to place them all along the bottom portion of my panel, kind of trailing up a littleit, and just mixing up all 4 of those colors. Now I did leave this part in, but I did speed it up quite a bit. Just because I wanted to show you where my placement was. But I'm still adding foam tape to a few of them, and then on the very small ones I just used my Nuvo Deluxe adhesive to adhere those around my card base here. And I did want to leave the white bubble showing on that vellum, just because I like that effect. The nice thing about this card is it would make a great birthday card, but if you were to use some softer colors, it would make a great baby shower card. And if you wanted to go masculine too, I think you could do that with some very dark muted colors. But I'm just going ahead and adding, I did add a few bubbles back into their homes on the die cut border. But basically that's it, guys. I think that looks very different from what I'm used to doing, but I really like the colors and the outcome of this. Okay, now I decided to add bring that red down a little bit. So to do this, I'm going to take some of the Wild Cherry cardstock. I'm going to cut down a 1/4 inch strip, and then just using my glue, I'm going to attach that to the very bottom of my vellum piece. It's going to give my vellum a little bit of more weight too. That will help keep it closed. And then next I'm going to take a very super thin strip of the pink lemonade cardstock, and I'm going to add that to the very top of the red one. I think the color combination is real fun and festive. Now for a little bit of sparkle, I'm going to go in with some iridescent sequins. I believe that these are from Amazon, and I picked them up. They're 8mm, so they're on the larger side. They come in a pack and they're very inexpensive. They're only one size, but I really like the way it picks up the colors around it. Now since this is a bubble card, I thought we'll make some real fun bubbles. So this here is Nuvo Morning Dew Crystal Drops. Now it's the same thing. If you were to have glossy accents, it would work the same exact way, but I'm going over a few of the bubbles. The bubbles that are overlapping I didn't add any Morning Dew to, but I did add lots of that around the smaller bubbles. I think later on I'm going to go in with the extra pieces that I die cut out and go along the inside of my card. But basically, guys, that's my card for today. Here you can see the way the Morning Dew dries clear. I think it's a real fun card. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for stopping by. I wish you a fantastic day, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.